having a business is one of the most significant, most powerful things that you can create. But most people don't know what they have. Your business will create wealth for you, but you have to be willing to learn how to get out of your own way and to do it the right way. So allow the government to fund your legacy. Before doing government contract, I owned no land. I owned no real estate. I couldn't afford those things. Now I own more than 10 acres of land. The government funded that legacy. And now I can pass it down to my children, right? I own properties and real estate and have rental property. The government funded that legacy, and it literally changed my life. Statistically, I was supposed to end up a teen mom pregnant. Right. I wasn't supposed to have a college degree, none of those things. Statistically, I was supposed to end up on drugs and on the street. And statistically, I was supposed to continue to pass down the middle class mindset of working for paycheck and barely making ends meet and continuing to allow the government to tax me because poor people are taxed the most, right?
Facts.
Poor people are taxed the most. And so in order to get out of that rat race, you have to learn how to make more money. The more money you make, the more time you buy back. And time is the most valuable asset that we all have. Business.
So welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. When you look on the news, you're always hearing about recessions, about how bad the economy is, the stocks are going down, jobs are being lost every now and then, and AI is about to take over. All of these things that are happening has everybody frightened and worried. Today, our show is gonna ease your fears because we have a 20-year business vet who successfully built 2 small businesses. She teaches small business entrepreneurs how to grow their business with government contracts so they can have consistent, sustainable income and get paid top dollars by the #1 largest purchaser of service in the United States without having to chase customers. Welcome, Dr. Karwanna D is in the building.
Woo-woo. Thank you.
Man, I'm excited about this episode because a couple of things is people don't realize how lucrative government contracts are. And once I was introduced to the concept, I've had people who are killing it in this space.
Yes.
It sounds too good to be true, but it makes sense because the government has access to all this money.
Yes.
And so I love the concept of government contract. But before we get to all of that, what is government contracts and how did you stumble across it?
Yeah. So good question. So in essence, basically, government contracting in the simplest form is doing business with the government. Okay. You're acquiring the government as your client, and that's what government contracting is. And so, in fact, in 2019 was the year of COVID. The U.S. government spent $6 trillion on business products and services.
Wow.
Now, this was the federal government. Now, in 2020, during and in the middle of pandemic, a year into it, that monies increased to 10 trillion. And of that, 26% is obligated to be spent with small business entrepreneurs who provides products and services. So that's $2.6 trillion that's on the table on the federal level for small businesses. But most people don't know that. And this is the reason why I coined it the $1 trillion secret to government contracts. Yeah. But yet you have, during that period, so many traditional businesses that have been around for decades that had to close their doors simply because they did not know this one thing that could have saved their business.
Wow. And so what was that defining moment where you hit the jackpot? What this looked like is when they dig it for gold and then they hit that one thing and then now the oil is what was that moment for Karwanna that had you saying, oh my God, this is the one? Yeah.
So prior to my knowledge about doing business with the government, in fact, most people when they hear that, they're like, doing business with the government, you think war, right? You think weapons, you think all those things. There's so many things that you can sell to the government, but I sold to individual people and I sold to other small businesses. And so my business struggled, right? So traditionally we learn all the false truths about business. Like it takes 2 to 5 years to build a business.
Yep.
You got to get a business loan. You got to have venture capital. All those things that we learned was completely wrong. So when I learned about government contracts, the biggest phenomenon was that, no, it does not take 2 to 5 years to grow a business. You can grow a business highly profitable if you're selling to the right person, right? During the struggle, right, I started actually doing B2B, which is the business to business model, and freelancing for other entrepreneurs. And one of them just happened to be an African-American billionaire. I just started asking questions like, dude, be real, because like I was really struggling in business, but I was working full time in my business, making less than part-time
And what
income.
was your business? Like,
and so at video production, photography services. So I have a whole media company, and I was really struggling to get it off the ground. I made money, but it wasn't enough to live off of. And so I just asked the question, like, how did you do it? How did you build a multi-billion-dollar company in such a short amount of time? And he took a serious look at me, and he said the same thing that you're doing for me, which was building his portfolios with video production and all those things. He said, you can actually do that for the government, and they will pay you very well.
Wow. Stop, because my video people, look, don't get no ideas.
That to me was like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
And so I did everything that I could over the next year or 2 years to try to really figure out how to make government contracting work for me. And at the time, I was probably making $30,000, but I was working like 50, 60 hours a week, right? That's slave money.
Right.
I created a job and I was broke, right?
Yeah.
I took a serious look at that. And I got started with government contracting. Of course, I did it wrong the first time, but I was so determined to become that next billionaire, just like the young man that I knew. I'm like, I'm going to figure this thing out. And so the first contract that I landed, it was literally for 28 days. Over that 28-day period, it was 2 hours a day, which totals 56 hours, and it was for $70,000. And for me, that was life-changing income, because most people work 40-hour work weeks and don't even make that in a year. But I was able to do that in a 28-day period. And I said, there's something to this, right? So I start educating myself. And so from there, I'm like, this is the $1 trillion secret to government contracts, because I discovered that the government, not only do they print money, but they're obligated to spend this money with small businesses, right? Who provide products and services. And what I realized was that the government is a building full of people, right? They're just individual people in a building under an entity, and they consume everything. The government cannot source its own products or services. They have to go externally to get that, including food, things like light, communication services, event planning, photography, video production, like everything. And so when I realized that, I said, you know what? This is the $1 trillion secret that most people don't know. Like, it's a secret. It's hidden in plain sight. So when you are the only solopreneur, you're like, where do I fall in? Because I don't even have one employee. It's just me. So you're considered a micro disadvantaged small business. And what I found was that there's pools of money for that. There's special money set aside specifically to help small businesses become big businesses. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying it. I wanted to take some time to invite you to join me in the GovCon Challenge. The GovCon Challenge takes place once a month, where I invite a bunch of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to come and have me teach you the 5 things you must do to pre-qualify your business to land lucrative contracts with the government. So join me in the GovCon Challenge. Click on the link in the description. You'll be glad you did. Join as VIP for exclusive behind-the-scenes information, and you can become a part of the top 1% of entrepreneurs across the nation. Now back to the video you were watching. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be willing to do the work, right? And so that's what they look for. They look for people who are eager to do the work and to learn and get paid to learn, that type of stuff. And so they look for people who deliver on their promises, because if you promise to deliver a certain service or a certain product to the government and then they pay you for that, you want to make sure that you're delivering quality product and quality services. So it's all about perspective and how you look at it. And they're literally begging people to come get this money. And we're talking about trillions of dollars, right? There is no way that you can do business with the government and not at least generate $1 million, even as a broke entrepreneur right now.
Wow.
Yes.
There you have it, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in. Dr. Karwanna D is having a 5-day challenge. She's going to teach you everything about government contracts so you can make a decision for yourself how easy it is to secure the bag. Listen, we always talk about reparations. We talk about the 40 acres and a mule. Instead of waiting and hoping and trying to elect the right people so that can happen, you can get access to the $2.6 trillion secret that is hiding in plain sight. Go to InsideGovContracts.com. If they wanted to connect with you, where can they find you?
You can find me at Karwanna D Speaks on Instagram, Dr. Karwanna D on Facebook. Yep.
All right, y'all.